Welcome to Cat Facts Funny, where we take a step out of the noise of daily life and settle into a gentler universe. A place where the smallest sound you make can ripple through the delicate world of a creature who depends on more than anything else. Tonight, we're entering a space most humans never notice. The space where your voice becomes a soft pathway your cat walks toward. Not because they understand your words the way people do, but because something inside the tone, the rhythm, the breath behind each syllable feels like safety to them. You've probably said thousands of words around your cat. Some of them were spoken without thought as you moved through rooms. Some were whispered when you believed they weren't listening. Some slipped out as gentle greetings when you woke up or came home, and some were murmured purely out of affection. This story isn't about training or commands or tricks. It's about the way cats feel your voice, long before they try to understand it. It's about the emotional fingerprints your sounds leave on them. Let the world pause around us while we unravel the way these words drift through their senses like threads of invisible warmth. The first word, the one that carries every memory they have of you. There is a moment you may not remember consciously, but your cat remembers in their own way. It might have been on the first day you met, or days later, or even years after living together. It's the moment you spoke their name with a softness that wasn't accidental. A softness that was shaped by affection, by a promise of safety, by the slow rise of your breath when you look at something you love without needing a reason. A cat does not hear their name the way humans do. To us, a name is identity, branding, labeling. To a cat, it becomes something woven entirely out of experience. When you say it, especially when you say it gently, they hear a sound wrapped in every memory they have stored about you, the rhythm of your footsteps, the warmth of your hands, the way your breath slows when they fall asleep nearby. The name becomes a sensory imprint, made from hundreds of tiny moments stitched together. When you murmur their name softly, not as a call, not as a correction, but as a touch of affection, your cat doesn't respond because they intellectually understand that the word refers to them. They respond because something in the air shifts when you speak it, something familiar and soothing, something that reminds them that home is not a place but a presence. And that presence is you. The second word, the invitation they accept only when they trust you completely. There is a word people say casually, a word that slips out when you're sitting on the couch or opening a door or turning your head toward the quiet corner where your cat is pretending to ignore you. It is the soft word, come, spoken with a warmth that carries far more weight than the syllable itself. Cats in nature have no reason to respond to invitations. Moving toward another creature is vulnerability. It exposes the soft underbelly of instinct that tells them to survive by observing first, acting second. So when your cat hears the soft human sound and decides to move in your direction, that small step carries within it an entire story of trust. They don't come because the word tells them to. They come because the tone you wrap around it feels safe, because the shape of that sound has never brought harm, because every time you've called them with that gentle voice, the moment that followed was warm and predictable. Your cat has collected these emotional patterns quietly, storing them the same way they remember the best sunspots or the quietest corners of the home. When they choose to walk toward you after hearing this word, they are expressing something deeper than obedience. They are telling you, in their own way, I feel safe stepping into your space. That is one of the purest forms of feline affection. The third word, the sound that wraps around them like a warm breeze. There is a small, simple word that spills out of us in moments of tenderness, without calculation or thought. A human says it when something touches them softly, when a moment feels right, when the heart relaxes instead of guarding itself. It is the gentle word, good, spoken as naturally as breathing. Your cat has no concept of praise. They do not internalize approval or chase validation. But they understand the emotional temperature of sound, and good, spoken with kindness, carries a tone that resembles the quiet murmuring vibrations mother cats use when comforting their kittens. The sound is round and warm, exhaling instead of cutting the air. When your cat hears this word from you, when they're curled at your side, or blinking slowly in your direction, or stretching in that long, luxurious way that feels like their whole soul is unfolding, they feel a shift in the room. Human language travels through the cat heart in a different way. Good is not about approval. It's about atmosphere. And your cat melts because, for that brief moment, the world becomes gentle around them. The fourth word, the one that pulls them closer without touch. There is another word, almost deceptively small, that seems to float rather than fall. It is the kind of word that has no sharp corners, no urgency, no command threaded inside it. Humans say it when they're inviting someone into comfort, when they want to share a quiet moment, when the space between two living beings feels safe enough to soften. That word is here. To a cat, here is not an instruction. It does not register as a request they must obey. Instead, it moves through the air like an opening door. Its vowel stretches gently. Its consonant barely grazes the space it passes through. When spoken the right way, low, warm, patient, it feels like an invitation without pressure, a gesture without force. Cats live in a world where safety is measured breath by breath. Their instincts ask constantly, is this step safe? Is this distance comfortable? Is this moment mine to choose? And so, when you say here, the power is not in the word itself, but in what it represents. It tells them the decision is theirs. It tells them the space beside you is soft, unclaimed, freely offered. It tells them you are not reaching toward them, but opening something for them. There is something deeply moving about the way cats approach this invitation. Sometimes they wander over without thought, melting into your lap as if it were always meant to be theirs. Other times they hesitate at the edge of the moment, waiting, assessing, letting the air settle before they choose. And when your cat responds, when they step toward you, paws quiet, whiskers relaxed, tail flowing behind them like a ribbon caught in a soft wind, they aren't simply accepting your invitation. Because to a cat, love is not a promise spoken loudly. It is a small doorway that you hold open with your tone, your patience, and your willingness to let them come to you in their own gentle time. There is a word humans rarely think about because to us it feels almost too ordinary, too woven into daily language to carry any special weight. But to a cat, it vibrates with a meaning older than memory, older than names, older than any bond you've built. It is the word easy. When spoken softly, this word seems to float downward instead of forward. It doesn't push. It doesn't pull. It settles, lightly, quietly, like a feather landing on still water. And that softness matters more to your cat than the meaning you attach to it. Cats do not respond to language the way we do. They respond to the emotional gravity inside a sound. They feel the intention long before they notice the pattern of letters. And easy carries a particular intention. It gently lowers the emotional volume of the moment. And when a cat relaxes like that, truly relaxes, they are not just melting physically. They are offering trust in one of the most delicate forms a feline heart can give. The sixth word, the one that feels like it was meant only for them. It is their name. To humans, a name is a label. To cats, it is something entirely more intimate. Their name is the one sound in your language that consistently carries a thread of emotion tied directly to them. It's the sound they hear when you offer food, when you laugh at their silliness, when you murmur to them in the quiet hours of night. Over time, this sound becomes woven into their nervous system, not through meaning, through association. Cat does not love often, and their name, spoken gently, becomes the key that opens that hidden place. Because their name is not merely a word. It is the sound of being chosen. Outro, when words become a bridge between two hearts. As the final echoes of these 6 simple words fade into the quiet corners of your home, you begin to see your cat not as a creature who learns language, but as one who learns you. Every gentle sound you shape becomes a small piece of the world they trust, a soft thread tying your voice to their safety, their calm, their secret moments of affection they reveal only when the world grows still. What melts a cat is never just vocabulary. It is the atmosphere you create, the softness you allow yourself to speak with, the patience you offer them without expecting anything in return. Thank you for stepping into this quiet discovery with me. Sharing these moments with you, and watching you deepen your connection with the little heart living beside you is what keeps this channel alive. Until our next journey, keep speaking softly, keep noticing the small things, and keep letting your cat know, through tone, presence, patience, that they are loved in more ways than any language can fully capture.